Fantastic. Hey, what a week, guys. This is a great week for DAC. First of all, we've got some great performance happening in November. We're on pace to be one of our top months ever. And that's thanks to all of you. After all, you produce most of the volume for our company, right? Or all of it, frankly. I'm an agent as well, and so is Wade and others. So all the volume comes from our agencies, if you will, including you and I. So congratulations on that. But we've also got this great Agent of the Month interview today with Shante Roddy, who, if we're talking baseball terms, is knocking the cover off the ball. Or if she was a pitcher, she'd be striking most batters out, throwing no hitters. But she's not. She's a home run hitter, and she's not only swinging for the fences, getting some big clients, she's getting a lot of little clients. All of those clients matter. They're not little or bigger. I'm talking about the funding size. But hey, every small business or every great big business started as a small business. So I love the $2,500 fundings because someone's taking 25 and working capital. They're trying to bump their sales to 5 or 10 or 15,000 a month. You know, they're moving ahead, and nobody serves that marketplace like we do. We are the leaders in that. Bank Breezy is a lock. You're the only place you can get Bank Breezy is right here at David Allen Capital. It's the only place to have instant approval, same day funding the way we do it. So by you being an agency with DAC, you have access to Bank Breezy and so many other things. So we've got a big training tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. training. Great information. I'm looking at the agenda right now. My goodness, Shantae is going to be training how she's doing what she's doing after lunch tomorrow. And I can't wait for you to see all this stuff we're covering. And it's going to be an amazing training, stuff that we haven't shared before. There'll be a lot of new information on that training. So you definitely, a lot. The comp plan is going to be talked about differently. Everything's going to be talked about with a twist. It's really neat. You're going to love it. So tomorrow, I'll make sure you're out at 10 o'clock to 3 p.m. Some people have asked, hey, can brand new people attend? Of course, brand new people can attend. But just know that as brand new people are attending, they may not know everything we're talking about. So the very first few minutes, we always give a quick overview of our business. So you can have guests come out and they may want to stick around at all training. So I would, though, if I were you, I would have everybody watch the business opportunity overview that's on your website rather than have them coming out for 10 a.m. Because it's not a live business opportunity overview. It's a business training. So I would have them watch the video that's on your website, or you do the presentation for them with the slides from the Agent Resource Center rather than having them come out to that. So you got a full 24 hours or less than that now, 23 hours to get some new prospective agents to get started with us. All right. With that, I don't want to spend any more time talking about tomorrow. I want to get right into Morgan, if you could help me, or Sharon, all the names are scrolling by me. If you guys could make Shante a co-host, that way she is able to unmute herself and mute herself, or at least let me find.
I'm here.
You guys can't make her as a co-host. There she is. She's unmuted, so she popped right to the top of the screen. Shante, I'm going to make you a co-host. And that way, after I introduce you, you have the ability to mute and unmute yourself, et cetera, in case something happens with me. I've had this before where I've lost internet or something, so you'd be able to continue. But folks, I get the pleasure of introducing our repeat Agent of the Month, Shante Roddy. She is... Not only is she doing great things with DAC, she's doing great things for business owners, even not counting what she's helping people through DAC. She's really got a passion to help business owners. We always say that's an ingredient you want to have. You want to, number one, believe business owners are rock stars and you want to help them. They are the front line of capitalism. And Shante subscribes to that. So much so that she does expert videos, et cetera, on business ownership and financing business ownerships. Sharon and Morgan, if you guys can make her co-spotlight with me, so we're both on screen together. She does this every day, goes out there and helps business owners get access to capital, either through SBA loans as an expert or through grants, credit cards, and then DAC. So she's speaking about business ownership and how to help them all the time. And that's because there's a passion there. And she doesn't get paid on all those things. Some areas she does. DAC, we happen to pay her. Shante, hang on a minute. I'm going to get you added here. Maybe I'm the only one who can do it. There we go. Apparently I was the only one who could do that. All right. Sorry about that. And Ellen, I can see you on screen. You can see Shante, right? All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, and you still see both?
You're both spotlighted.
And I see us.
I keep getting things on my screen that tell me I'm the only one pinned, and so I apologize. But Shante has been taking the business owners' struggles and making it her passion to help solve. And I think that sums it up. When I've only watched a couple of the things she does, but just by hearing her talk on our last Agent of the Month interview and hearing what people say who are in her team and why they got funding. We reach out to some, we talk to some, and we get feedback from some of them. And all of them are so grateful for the passion and for the expertise that Shante delivers for free in her podcast, in her She Boss Talks. So, you know what? I encourage all of you. We're going to ask her to share her page so you can become a follower of her and see how she's sharing. But she's going to be going into a lot of her stuff tomorrow as well. But I'm just so grateful that she has chosen to latch her agency to David Allen Capital and Bank Breezy. She believes in what we're doing for business owners, and we're grateful for her. Shante, we're grateful for all you do for our business owner friends and family members. We really are. And we're grateful that DAC is your home for the revenue-based capital space and instant approval space. And we're grateful for the leadership you provided other agencies who've started, that you've partnered with and helped earn fast starts. And we just can't say enough. We're very appreciative. And we're thankful that you accepted your nomination and selection as Agent of the Month for a second time. And with that, I just want to say thank you and welcome to the Agent of the Month discussion.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, you're, you've been doing a lot, as you know, more than we do. We see the results. I mean, and we see all the people who are coming in to apply who aren't eligible too, but they're still hearing your message and they're coming to look for funding. And so why don't you just kind of share a little bit? I know some people, if you don't know Shante well, you can watch her last interview too, but Shante, why don't you just take over and share anything that you feel someone who's either new or been around a while might be able to benefit most from with your success and experience.
Yeah. So first of all, since the COVID-19 pandemic first came about in early 2020, I've really been on the front lines of advocating, petitioning on behalf of small businesses to get them the relief that they need. The pandemic has really hurt millions of businesses. There is not a single small business that has not been impacted. And that's not just isolated to the US, but we have, I believe, 38 million small businesses across the US alone. That's a lot of small businesses. And so they still need help. They're still experiencing many challenges. So I've stayed on the front lines of them using my She Boss Talk platform to educate, to empower, to motivate them to just continue to push forward, to advocate for themselves, and to go after the different relief grants and other types of funding like David Allen Capital that are out here and available for them. You may not know, but many small business owners don't know the many options that are available to them. They're just like throwing up their hands and like they don't know what to do. They've been declined or rejected by one traditional lender or by the SBA, and they don't know anything about us until we tell them, right? They need people like us, agents like us out there, letting them know, hey, we understand what you're going through, the challenges that you've experienced. but here, we can help you. We have a solution for you. And so that's just what I do. I do it every single day. And so again, this is my passion. You have to be passionate about small business, really care about small business, really want to get to know the small business owner, really appreciate them for what they do every single day, showing up in their business. But when they show up in their business, they're showing up for you, they're showing up for me, they're showing up for their community and their neighborhoods. And they're doing that often, not even making a profit, not even making money in their own business, just reinvesting in their business, reinvesting in their community. So, you know, they need us out there supporting them and giving them solutions to help them continue to move their businesses forward.
You know, I would say this, your passion, everyone can hear it. It's visceral. You can feel it. You've learned a lot over the last, since the pandemic started, about business financing, right? You didn't have experience prior, did you?
No.
So you just decided to get hungry and find out what grants, what are these SBA plans, what are these PPP programs, what is this David Allen Capital revenue base and Bank Breezy? And by the way, did anyone teach you this, or was it your own research and studies?
It was my own research, right? I just took initiative on my own to find out what is happening, what is out there and available for small businesses. I started digging into the regulations, learning about what more is out there to offer, learning, just talking. I talk to businesses every day, just hearing their challenges and being able to see what solutions are out there and available for them. And that's where, like I said during the last interview, is that I already was an agent under David Allen Capital. So I was already a partner. And so I decided to leverage this partnership to help more small businesses. And so when you all came online with PPP, that was the intro in, because I was able to get sent through a lot of PPP applications. And then when you started Bank Breezy, I knew that was a game changer. And you can tell by the many businesses, hundreds, that submit applications through me on a daily basis. And a lot of times they only need a few $1,000s that will really make an impact in their business. So that's why I'm able to get so many applications, because I know the business owner, I know the challenges, I know their need, and I know that this is a solution to their problem.
Amen. Well, you know, for everyone listening, you know, we always talk about the beliefs. Can you tell Shantae's got a hunger? She's uncommon. She's unusual in a good way, that she has a desire and a hunger to help, so much so that she digs in an uncomfortable area, researching things to learn stuff that's not easy, because there's so many different sources and a lot of it's not accurate. And so you really got to dig. And I'm sure you've ruled out a lot of things you've learned, is realizing, oh, that's not even factual. The PPP loans aren't even approved the way they say, or they're saying they're eligible, but they're not giving the money, or the money's locked down, or you hear all kinds of things. And the news was reporting it wrong, and then right, and then wrong. So even with all that, guys, that's a shaky ground. She didn't say, well, the climate is not right for getting educated because it's changing. She said, you know, that's why I need to get educated, because the climate is all crazy right now. And I think that as you look at that, look at the hunger that takes and the discipline that there's something in there, right? There's something in Shantae that gave her that deep-rooted, I'm going to do this decision. Something flipped in her that said, I'm going to do it. And so Shantae, I can tell what you say, how you care about business owners, just by what you just said there about how many of them are making money and losing money. And where does DAC revenue funding and Bank Breezy revenue-based funding fit in all the financial things that exist out there? There's some great programs outside of us. Where do we fit? And how would you say, or how would you edify that to all of our listeners today on how neat our little pie is that we've got, which is big pie, but how neat that is in the space and how much easier it is there than all the other areas.
Yeah, because I said before, and I'll continue to say it, especially Bank Breezy, when we launched the product in May, this is a game changer for businesses because for a number of different reasons, but you can't get any other type of funding or businesses if they're making anything less than $10,000 a month. There is really no funding out there available to them. Most funders require you to have at least 25K per month coming into your business, right? And so there's so many millions of small businesses that have not reached that level, but they still need capital to help them to be able to grow their business, right? Another barrier is credit. Credit is a huge barrier for small businesses to be able to get access to funding. If you don't have a 700 credit score, they can forget about getting funding from a traditional bank. For the SBA, half of those that apply for SBA funding or disaster relief will still get denied. The minimum credit score to apply for that program is a 570 credit score. But here you have with Bank Breezy, you only need a 450 credit score. And you tell that to someone, these are things that business owners ask, okay? So you have to know what questions they're going to ask and be ready to share this information. And that is a great benefit for them to know that, oh my goodness, I've been hit by this pandemic. My credit score was above 700, but due to the pandemic, it's taken a deep dive. But I meet that requirement. Oh, I don't have to be in business, 1 or 2 years to get funded, knowing that I have this great business, I'm making revenue, but I have this contract that's coming up that I need working capital for, or I have a trucking or logistics company and I need this new truck or this new vehicle. These are the types of calls and emails and messages I get all the time. They need funding for that. And that's how we fit in this space. And so just knowing what the requirements are and how to educate the business owner on what they need to be able to get access to this funding is just amazing, because to see a business owner apply and get funded the same day when they've been waiting on SBA for months and months and months and months, or they just been declined, had to go after appeal after appeal after appeal, and they apply and they get funded today, and then they can go flip that money and make more money for their business. I mean, there's no greater reward. I mean, I don't even think about how much I'm making. I'm thinking about how is this funding going to help take that business to the next level? How is it going to transform that business? And to see what they've been able to take $5,000 and do with it, or $7,000, $10,000 and do with it in their business. And then they're not only helping their business, they're buying out another business and keeping those businesses functioning is amazing. So it's just an amazing opportunity to be able to have this funding at this time. There's no shortage of small businesses that need funding right now, and this type of funding that we offer.
Well, Shantae, and you demonstrate that by the number of applications you have coming through. And because of, folks, I hope you're gathering just by watching her, the conviction she has. And I can talk to an agent who's been with us 4 years who doesn't have that conviction. And there's a belief level through education and knowledge that you gain when you dig in deeper and deeper and deeper. You love it more and more and more. Yeah, there's things that don't go the way we want them to. And yeah, there's things that people won't get approved because they've got some sort of default judgment in their background. You go, oh, they meet all the other eligibility. That's going to happen rarely. But when you learn more and more about it, you have the conviction Shantae has. Hopefully you're seeing that and you're asking yourself, am I exemplifying what Shantae does? Do I exemplify what DAC stands for? Do I walk forward with that confidence and represent? So Shantae, when you're out there talking to clients, and I know a lot of it's through social and just like you're doing right now, you're very comfortable projecting education, energy, integrity. You're very good at that. when you're out there doing that, I know you're going to be teaching about that tomorrow on our Saturday training. You're going to be talking about how to use social and do what you're doing. So come back tomorrow, folks, and hear that, obviously. But when you're out there doing that, what is in your mind as you're starting to communicate with a business owner about revenue-based capital? Is it their outcome, what they can get from it?
Absolutely.
What is it that moves you there?
Yes, is what can they get from the funding? How is this going to help their business? How is this going to solve their problem? Because there's such a big need. I mean, I hear the stories and the pleas and what they're trying to accomplish and their goals. And so I just want to have a solution for them, right? And so, it does, sadden me when a business doesn't get funded. But what I do is I use my platform and any opportunity to educate the business owner on how to get their business positioned and organized to take advantage of more funding opportunities. Because what I've learned during the pandemic is that so many businesses just aren't ready to take advantage of these opportunities, and they missed out on relief or they missed out on grants because they're not ready. And so that's why they appreciate me, because I educate and I put it in layman's terms. A lot of these types of things are complicated, right? You're applying for things. You're trying to run your business. You're trying to keep it afloat. Now you're trying to understand, how do I apply for this relief program? How do I apply for this funding over here? You have all of these different people telling you what to do. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. They're looking for an expert that cares about small business. And that's what they see when they come across my channel. I'm different than anyone else, or they come across me, period. Anywhere that I am, is that I really care and I show up as an expert. That means I don't need to wait for someone to tell me to go take a training or to attend a meeting. I know that's what I need to do to make sure I'm knowledgeable anytime so I can properly respond anytime I get a phone call, anytime I get an email, anytime I get a direct message on social media. Because I get them every day, and every business have a different scenario, a different challenge that they're dealing with. And how can I use what I know to give them the solution that they need to keep them moving forward in their business?
Love it. So you've gotten yourself educated. You've got the confidence and passion. And if you get a question you don't have an answer to, how do you respond to that?
I find the answer, and typically, there's usually not a question that's come across that I don't know, but I find the answer. I know that I have the support team. I will send a message. You all see I send messages sometimes to the support team if I'm not clear, because sometimes you'll get something that hasn't been in the training, and I want to make sure I'm clear before I answer the person's questions. And sometimes I refer them to our underwriters, right? Our underwriters, I let them know they are the experts in that particular thing, and they will be there with you through the entire process, making sure that everything runs smoothly, that you know everything that you need to know to make a knowledgeable decision if you're going to move forward with funding. So there is always an answer. The answer is either I have it or I'm going to get it pointed to them, either to the support underwriter or something else, but I always provide an answer.
Amen. Now, it's interesting. You were talking about the PPP. That was by the way, folks, this has been going on before the pandemic. Business owners needing capital. There wasn't something called the PPP program until the pandemic. And these EIDL loans disaster loans were for, like, if a hurricane goes through a beach town and they're decimated, they'd come through with the EIDL loans, economic injury and disaster relief loans, I think is what it stands for. But yes, those loans are still available in certain areas, but they're waning because we're moving beyond, right? They still exist. I'm not saying they don't exist. But what we're talking about here, we submitted over 10,000 PPP applications to our providers. Do you know that less than 400 got approved and got funded? If we submitted 10,000 to our revenue-based funding, we'd get 7,000 approved and 6,000 funded. So we're literally 10 times the approval and funding rate of a PPP guaranteed government loan. So don't think that money is easier to get.
It's not.
It is for certain people. But I can tell you, for me, I applied for our DAC to go through the process, just to see the process. And there's one person on the David Allen Capital Bank, me. There's one owner, me. There's one social security number, mine. There's one tax ID, the company's. And I applied, and they said the bank account did not match. They said it was a fraudulent bank account versus tax ID number. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I sent bank statements. I sent all the stuff to go through the process to see what the approval, and I never got approved because of fraud, potential fraud bank statements. I sent a copy of my social security card. I did it all. So the point behind this is Shantae's seen and heard all this. That's why she's teaching on it, because there's people who are frustrated. They did everything right and still couldn't get the PPP. And she knows and she can empathize, and that they're not wrong when they say that. You may not know if that's true. When we say 80% of the businesses can't get approved for funding, PK says that's true. There's a lot of reps who don't believe that. A lot of agents just don't believe it. She was in corporate funding. She says that's true. So Shante, for all the people watching, I mean, you've dug in, you've gotten the experience, but you also started building other partnerships. You're serving clients, but you're also finding a way to attract other agencies. Mm-hmm. How are you doing that? And you've had success with a lot of them getting fast starts as a percentage of those who join, the ones who get clients in the first month. Are you teaching them anything unique, or is it just they're following your lead? What would you attribute that success to?
They're really following my lead. I don't recruit people to the business or to my agency. It's just amazing to say I have an agency, and it's amazing to see all of these new agents joining my team, and they're like, they saw me on social media. They see what I'm doing, what I've done, or I've helped them in some capacity through the pandemic with other relief. And they want to be under me. That's what they tell me. Okay, this is not what I'm saying. So that's why they want to join, or they will email me or call me. Like, I saw this, I saw your interview, or I saw that you offered this, and I really want to work with you. And so I'm here to help them, right? I'm here to help them, build them up. I want them to be successful. Anyone that's on my team, and we're all a team. So whatever I can do to help them be successful, but they're coming in, they're like, we want a strong leader. We know that you have integrity, that you're whatever you're doing, we want to be part of that. Just like being connected to some success, you want to be part of that success, and that motivates you every day, right? And then they have me available. Like I call every time I get a new agent. I call them, I send them emails, I make myself available. They can call me anytime if they have a question or need to work through a challenge or get stuck. I'm here for them, and they appreciate that. An example of that, I have one agent, she was, stuck, or sometimes we just make things so much more complicated than they have to be. And that's what she was doing. So I just took the time to just say, okay, let's slow it down. Tell me what you're doing. What do you have coming up? And she told me she was going to a small business expo, right? So I gave her advice on what to do and to make sure that you are taking action, that you don't go into a networking event and you don't leave with at least 3 to 5 contacts, because you should leave with at least a partner in the agency or a client. And then you leave and then you nurture that relationship. And so I sent her there, right? She was already going. I said, come back to me. You have homework. She said she has homework. And then to come back and tell me how it went. What were you able to accomplish while you're there? And everything you do, you should have a purpose, and you should have a plan and a goal that you're going to achieve with whatever it is you're doing. So when she went out there, she had a goal, she had a plan to come back and work it. So that's what I'm there for my agents for. And they're go-getters. I mean, they're just go-getters. So I don't know if I can take responsibility for that. I'm just here to help mentor them and coach them through the process.
Well, I will give you 100% of the credit. And this is why I believe so. We always say, share what you believe and you'll attract people who believe what you believe. You can all see that Shantae shares what she believes. She shares what she believes about business funding and helping businesses, and the business owners are the front line of capitalism. They're rock stars, and they need help, and they need someone who cares enough to help them while they're busy running their business. And Shantae has put that hat on. She says, I'm going to be an expert for those business owners. And when she communicates that, who do you think she attracts? People who think that way, people who want to be like that. And we say, don't be close to the vest and just be all super professional. Be professional, but be passionate and share what you believe. And you'll attract people who believe like you believe, and they'll want to get out and help business owners. Shantae, with what she knows now, she can't keep that to herself. She's got to share that. It's coming out of her, right? You see that in her, right, folks? You see it. So I think you get 100% of the credit, Shante, because number one, you're attracting people who believe what you believe because you're willing to share what you believe, number one, and you don't just share it in the corner to one person. You're sharing with as many as you can. And number two, you engage as a partner with your new partners. They're not someone you recruited who's on your team who just is on a list that you're adding. Cool, we're at 20 now, we're at 50 now, we're at 100 now. You're not looking at it as a number, as a stat. You're looking as a partner, and you reach out and talk to them and communicate and email and reach out, and you give them the benefit of the doubt till they prove otherwise. You assume, and now you got a great, not all the people on your team, your partners are super active, I'm sure, but some of them are. A handful believe like you believe. So when you've got people that you're working with, do you spend much time on helping them recruit or, educating them on this? Or you just tell them, come to my show and you'll learn there? What's your training, if you will?
I don't, for the agents?
Yeah.
I don't know that I spend a lot of time. I just make myself available. So they have my number. They can call me, they can text me anytime. And some of them work with me in other capacities. We collaborate, like we're partners, right? So we're in this together. And so that's really all that I do. I think right now I'm working on setting up like a weekly meeting, like a game plan for any agent that wants to do it, right? If you want a game plan together, we can work through some scenarios together. I think that that's helpful as well. But listen, I have some amazing agents. These new ones, when I got that notification that 3 of them that had just came on had a fast start, I'm more excited for them than I am for myself. Like, I'm shouting to the rooftops to everybody, like, look at them, look at my team and what they're doing, right? And that helps to motivate them too. I mean, celebrating them, showing appreciation for the hard work that they're doing, that they, again, have the same beliefs that I do. They know how important it is to help small business, and they didn't even wait. They didn't wait. They signed up and they got right to action, sharing the information, and that's really all it is. Businesses are really waiting to get funded. So we can't be shy to tell them about it, and they're not shy to share the information and to start submitting applications. And so it just makes me happy and excited to see that they had that such success and achieved that goal to fast start but within the 30-day time frame. That's amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. By the way, folks, if you have a question for Shante, type it in the chat bar. Morgan's going to monitor those, Morgan and Sharon, and we'll read them out to you. But please type them in there, and then we can see the similar questions. It'll just be more efficient on time. But okay, so you've got your passion and your purpose to help the business owner. You keep yourself up to date. If a new program comes out, you're going to read the government websites. You're going to learn about the grant. You're going to figure out who it fits and who it doesn't. You're going to do the research because you're saying, I'm going to be an expert in this space. You don't have 10 years experience. You have less than 2 years experience, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, less than 2 years experience, and probably knows more than 99.9% of all bankers in this industry because they stay focused on their own space. I don't understand PPPs like Shantae. I don't understand government grants like Shantae. I don't understand credit cards for new business owners like Shantae. I don't understand that. She said, I'm going to broadcast information differently. I'm not just one lane. I'm the whole lane, business owners who need capital. And so what a blessing to business owners she is. And can you see the value she's bringing? So that's why so many people apply to her and come to her for information, and why she has so many applications, so many fundings. And then she's also attracting people who believe what she believes and loves her leadership. It's the law of attraction, they say, right? So with all that said, you've got a team that's growing, you're growing, and you really haven't even focused yet on the duplication process It's just naturally happened organically. You haven't focused on a strategy for duplication yet, correct?
Right.
You're just living it. You're just doing it.
Yes.
And I say that the reason I mention that is because we teach a strategy, and I know you're like you just said, the weekly call, you're starting to do it, but none of that matters if you don't do what Shantae's doing, guys, gals. If you do what Shantae's doing, it doesn't even matter if you have a strategy. Attraction marketing works. You're so good, so caring, so passionate, so purposeful, so educated. It'll attract clients. It'll attract agents without any strategy. Just by being that, be a professional, and you'll attract clients and you'll attract agents. Then when you couple with it the strategy we're going to be going over tomorrow on how to duplicate partners and indirect partners, now you're on to an exponential growth business that's unbelievable. So Shantae, we're going to go to some questions here. Hopefully people have been typing them in. And then at the very end, we'll give a chance for everyone to applaud, but I want everyone to be able to ask you some questions. So Morgan, if you could be so kind, or defer to Sharon, however you want to do this. If you've got questions for Shantae, could you please read them out for us and let Shantae, in fact, if you could spotlight her, let's just have Shantae on screen. You don't need me on it. What questions we got?
Sure thing. All right, let me remove you as a spotlight. Shantae's up.
There you go.
And let's see, we've got a question here from Jamar. He says, hi, Shantae. First of all, thank you for the energy you are infusing us with. What is your podcast name? How long have you been running it? And how do you market it and DAC throughout the podcast?
Yes, so my platform is She Boss Talk and is really on every social media platform, but I'm really big on YouTube and Facebook. So you can find me anywhere, just type in She Boss Talk. I started this platform just as a free live show on Facebook using Facebook Live around the end of 2018 because I just had a vision. I wanted to just be able to interview entrepreneurs and have them share their story because there is power in all of our stories. And so I wanted to have a platform for that. And then I evolved from that in just 2019, based on things that I have gone through as a woman entrepreneur and business owner. So I transitioned to focus on women in business. Okay. And then the pandemic hit. And so although my target audience is women in business, I help every type of business, all men, women, entrepreneurs, business owners, any business that needs help. I'm speaking to all of the businesses that have been impacted by COVID-19. So I have a lot of different initiatives and programs that we rolled out. We continue to roll out for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Just like I'm doing that, I said before, everyone has their platform. What are you doing for small business on a regular basis? Do you know about the different events, celebrations, particular to small business, like Small Business Week and Small Business Saturday, which is coming up, is the Saturday of Thanksgiving. That is huge for small business. So I use my platform for that and, celebrating them, shouting them out, anything that I can do to really support the small business owner, I use my platform for that.
Awesome. All right, next question. They kind of go hand in hand. I've got two questions here I'm going to kind of put together. The first question is, do you mainly visit small businesses face-to-face or make calls? And the next question was, which type of marketing gets you the most clients? Okay, so they call me. Business owners contact me every single day in every type of way. And it's really getting to the point that it's a challenge to keep up because there's so many, hundreds that contact me every day that I'm trying to prepare my team to be able to respond to them as I would respond to them on social media. Because I don't want a question to be missed from a small business owner. So I've literally answered so many different questions. From a marketing perspective, I just get out and I leverage my platform. I'm me. I'm just authentic and I'm there to educate.
Not to say that, you shouldn't be out here marketing, but you should, right? So I think that's part of my brand, and marketing is showing up every day, leveraging my platform. I don't have it here now because there was some issues, but I have, when I'm live, I have like the virtual background with She Boss Talk on it. So that resonates with people every time. Millions of people have seen my videos, right? Millions have seen my video, and they constantly see that She Boss Talk, She Boss Talk. And so that stays in their mind. And so when I'm talking about any type of relief or funding, they remember it's there in the video. And then everything I talk about and resources I provide on video, I always have links to resources in the comments of every video. My videos are there every day, all day. They will always be there unless something happens or YouTube or Facebook shuts down. But that means there are so many different people that will see the video, see the comments, click on the links, and that's really all how it happens. And then they share because they see that I'm out here. I built a brand that people come to recognize as she's the expert, she's the educator. She breaks it down, she puts it in layman's terms, she understands us, she's helped us. So guess what? They're going to go share my information, my video, my links with other people that they know. And it just grows and grows and grows, right? To the point where I said, now I need a team to really help manage all of the different requests that come in on a regular basis.
And, you've also got the, you're going to be talking about this tomorrow, obviously, because there's a lot of people who don't have your platform yet, right? So you've got influence through your social, but they can start having a small platform, right? You're going to be talking about tomorrow how to do this. And you started small, right? You didn't start with the millions of viewers. You had to create a video.
With zero viewers.
Zero.
I started with 0 viewers.
Right. So everyone who's watching this, if you've been watching for any period of time, you are already a revenue-based funding expert just by going through our business capital training. Even if you were just started there and spread that out, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. I don't want to move into training, but what's the next question you got, Morgan?
Next question. It says, hi, Shante, congratulations. For your She Boss grants that you offer, how are you best able to raise those funds to be able to offer that? It truly is brilliant how you attract your leads to you and help them accordingly.
Let's start with the first question. So most of the money that I use is money that comes into my business, including commissions that I receive from David Allen Capital. But I also have a GoFundMe campaign where it's other entrepreneurs, business owners, or advocates just contribute to the campaign, and that it allows me to be able to give out grants to women in business. And what was the other question? There was a few in there.
I think it was more of a comment. It sounds like she was just commending you on how you attract your leads and help them accordingly. It sounded more like a compliment than a question, I think.
Yeah. So how I attract my leads is just getting out here every day. We have to show up as the expert. I think that's one of the most important things that you can do. We make it complicated. Are you showing up? And are you showing up every day as an expert and for small business, that you are the best? There is no one else but you that small businesses can come to. That's how you have to show up. I don't care if it's online or if you're in the grocery store, you're at the supermarket, you're at a restaurant, or you're at a networking event. Are you the funding expert when you show up in a room?
Love it. Anything else, Morgan?
One just popped up. We did have a few others, but I think that you answered them in your other answers. Things like what's your basic script and all of that.
Yeah, someone asked me about scripts. I did see that. I don't use scripts. I'm just me. I mean, just be you. I mean, people they're not expecting you to be perfect. They don't, even if you make a mistake, they don't know it. I mean, you just have to show up with confidence that you are the expert, but you must first make sure that you are building your knowledge and your expertise by taking the training, more than once, attending the different events, staying engaged, being in the group, getting on the text, because things get outdated really quickly. I can't rely on what happened last year or how it was last year. Keep myself regularly plugged in and engaged, because business owners contact me every day. And when they contact me, they're expecting me to be knowledgeable. I mean, they've already had challenges and been struggling and received misinformation. They're looking for somebody that knows what they're talking about. So if you can show up knowing what you're talking about, that's one of the first steps.
Amen. Got anything else, Morgan? I got one more for her before we finalize, but
I do have one. It is Jamar asking if you want to cross collab on his podcast. I don't know if you want to share your email with him, or I can share it for him.
Yeah, why don't you connect him through direct message?
You got it.
Jamar is a great guy. You're going to love Jamar, Shante, and he's got a great podcast as well. So you guys can
that'd be nice.
Benefit each other. Absolutely. Okay, so my question for you is this. For all the people, because you are an expert in this space, for all the people when they're coming up to business owners, if you talk to a small business I've had this cold. You got a small business owner who's maybe doing $25,000 a month in revenue, and you're talking to them right now, or $20,000 or $15,000, which is most businesses that we come across. Do you lead with SBA? Do you lead with PPP? Do you lead with DAC? If someone's saying, I need working capital, I need funding, Bank Breezy, what is your strategy?
It depends on what they're asking me for, right? And how they're asking. I mean, are they asking like in a comment? Are they saying specifically, are there grants available? What grants? How do I get grants? Then I lead with grants. Some may ask, what are grants and loans, right? Or other types of funding. Then I provide resources for both, right? And I always have my resources. I get emails all the time, and whether they ask for a grant or a loan or some type of funding, I built a template, which is easy to do, because I have built in my mind FAQs. What are business owners asking on a regular basis? They're going to need X, Y, and Z. What resources do I already have in my arsenal that I can offer them? So I have a template that I use that I just make minor adjustments for each email that comes through, but it has the basic resources in there. So it has my grant resources, it has David Allen Capital in there, and it has some other resources as well, because I need to be able to give people options, right? So whether they need David Allen Capital funding right now, or whether they ask for it or not, I'm going to lead in that email, well, yes, I can help you with grants, but here are some additional funding resources that you can review and reference. Save this email, because you may be able to use this now, or you may be able to use it in the future. And they always have it as reference.
Love it. So there's, when I'm talking to business owners, and this may ask the same question a little bit differently. When I'm talking to business owners, I always ask them, number one, if they can get approved, if they think they can get approved at a bank, and if they have the time. And if they think they can or have the time, I tell them to start there. But of course, I say, I of course promote our DAC funding, simple, fast. You can get it quick, but it's going to be more pricey. So start with your bank unless you're urgent on time. And then I say the same thing about SBA. You might be able to get SBA funds, but it's going to be even longer than your bank. Sometimes less, depends on the program. So if you want to try those before you look at us, it's great. But again, credit, collateral, those all things matter. Do you have if someone's just talking about, I need money this week, and they don't qualify for grants, let's say, is DAC your only source?
No, Bank Breezy.
Bank Breezy or DAC, yeah. So our revenue-based capital is the only thing that exists besides grants for Money Now, right?
Right, Money Now, right. And remember, I've been working with these business owners, so I know that they've been waiting a long time for like SBA funding. So like I did a live video yesterday. So I already know this. So I'm leading with, you can use this capital, because sometimes they like, how can I use this funding, right? Well, what would this be good for? You have to be ready to answer. And I said, you've been waiting months and months and months for SBA funding, the disaster relief there. and you're waiting. But in the meantime, you can use this funding to fill in the gap. So if you need working capital now, you have this contract you need funding for now, you need to get that vehicle now, you have money right now. Today you can get funded, or tomorrow, just depending on what time you submit your application. And that is huge for people. And I always, for businesses, and I always ask them, how much funding do you need? And what is your plan for the funding? Because that will tell you a lot, because it's not you just getting funding for no reason. You need to have a plan, right? And understand, how are you going to make the funding work for you, whether it's David Allen Capital, a Bank Breezy, a grant. You need to have a plan. That's part of educating them. And they remember that. And, some have a plan, and most of them do have a plan. They're like, this is what I want to do for it. And then I'm helping them to make a decision. So when I'm on the phone with people, they may have a question, like, I'm considering this, and I'm able to help them move them in the direction to apply. So they may apply that day, tomorrow, next week, next month. I don't really make that my concern. I'm just here to share the information and give them the options that they didn't know they had before they came in contact with me.
Amen. Well, I would say, in summing it up, you show up as a pro, you behave as a pro, the outcome doesn't matter. The outcome eventually will come if they need funding, and they're going to get your help, and you're going to get credit for it at some point. But right now, you're being a pro, the outcome follows, you behave as a pro, and you attract people who are looking for pros. Now, folks, what she does, she's got a platform and she does it socially. But if she were going to be doing phone calls, she takes a lot of inbound calls. She shows up as the pro on the inbound calls too. Can you tell? And then if she's outbound calls, what do you think she's going to show up as, a pro or someone who's timid and afraid? And when she's out dropping off drop cards or meeting a business owner at their restaurant, you think she's going to show up as a pro, or you think she's going to show up afraid? So the bottom line is, it's okay if you are not a social networker expert. It's okay if you're not doing that. Tomorrow, you're going to hear how to use the phone, how to use drop cards, how to use social, how to use bank relationships. You're going to hear all different ways of getting clients. But every time, you got to be like Shante is being if you want to have success. So you want to work toward that. Get your confidence to that. We got some training on confidence tomorrow that'll help you. But Shante, I thank you again. I would just give you the last word here. Is there anything else you want to say to anyone who watches this today, watching it live, or may watch it on recording a year from now? Anything you want to say as you close us out today?
Yes, and I take it from you. If you want to be a pro, do what pros do.
Done. That's pretty simple. All right. Well, Shante, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Discipline. When you know what you need to do and you don't want to do it and you don't do it, you're not being disciplined. Be the pro, even when you don't feel like it. Get out there and do it. It's the best thing for your customers, best thing for your clients, the best thing for the economy. It's the best thing for the marketplace, and it's the best thing for you and your family. Shante, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. The agenda's coming your way, by the way. God bless you all. Agent of the month, Shante, Roddy. Can we unmute everyone, Morgan, so everyone can, or Sharon, ask all to unmute. Let's everyone give a collective congratulations to Shante.
Congratulations, Shante.
Congratulations. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, man.
Awesome or what?
And wait till tomorrow.
Wow, what a great smile, Shante.
Awesome. We love her.
Thanks, Shante.
Love you, Shante.
We love you. Keep doing your thing.
Love your smile.
Thanks, G-Boss.
Thank you.
Go.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Shante.
All right.
There you rock.
Shante.
Thanks, everybody.
Congratulations.
Good job.
All right. Have a good day. We'll see you all tomorrow.